Welcome back to Of Dice and Friends, your weekly serving of magic, mayhem, and misadventure. I'm Joey, your narrator on this unusual journey. Speaking of who I am, I figure we might want to introduce ourselves one more time for the sake of anyone listening. So real quick, who are you people?
Hey guys, good to be back. Nolan here. I play Mo. He's a lovable, goofy, quote-unquote monk. Also, I just want to let you guys know, I found this out and I thought it was really interesting recently. Did you guys ever hear what happened to the guy that invented the knock-knock jokes?
No?
What happened?
He won a Nobel Prize. Aha!
Can you add boo sound effects?
Yeah. I could just make boo sound effects.
Greg, you're up.
I am
Save
Greg,
us.
and I play J.R. Ranstar. Top hat wearing, cane wielding, perfect, refined gentleman he is.
I'm Rachel. I play Tana. Loves fire, hates water, definitely hates snow and avalanches.
You're in the wrong place.
I am
very sorry.
Screwed.
Aaron, good to be back here with you guys again. This is great. I play Finian, a Morless. I'm a very pale elf from the dark side of the world. Having fun with you guys.
I'm Sarek. I play Heen. I have no nose, and I'm guilty until proven innocent.
Wow. All right. Well, I believe then it is time for our story to continue.
All right, boys, raise a glass. Let's cheers.
Cheers.
Happy role playing.
Chapter 2, Dead of Night. Last time, 5 lost souls were thawed from the ice in the Path of Malice, one of the 10 massive islands in the afterlife. They were freed by Prince Morath Belior, who explained that every month, dozens of envoy groups from the Lore Guild are sent all over Noctara, the eternally dark land of the dead, with messages for those who call this place home. Among those are the orcs, who actually physically live here in life even before they die. In exchange for new bodies, Prince Morath asks that the party kill a group of these ghost messengers and deliver a forged summons to the orcs, who he hopes will travel to Vitara, the world of the living, to help him liberate his father's kingdom. The 5 of you, alongside a lone wraith, now stare up at the mountain as a wall of snow rushes down towards you, kicking up debris that mixes with the snowstorm, completely blocking out vision of the ancient white dragon that flies above. We will start with Mo. You are about 110 feet away from this wall of snow and debris and ice. What do you do?
Well, seeing this awful sight, I'm going to look towards my friends, kind of panicked. Okay, guys, I'll be honest. I was never really trained how to fight snow, so I'm pretty sure we should leave. Should we leave? I feel like, okay, I'm going to leave now, and then I'm going to turn and just start running.
Run!
Do you use your action to move again?
Absolutely. I am skedaddling.
Yeah, as soon as Mo turns around to say that, I'm already running.
I'm 10 feet ahead of them with my tail between my legs, even though I'm still smarting from the last episode. And you know what? I'm going to take my action. I'm going to throw a bonfire up all around me. It might not do anything, but emotionally, I feel better.
So you move 30 feet, and then you light the ground on fire around you.
Thank you, Mr. Dungeon Master. That is correct.
Great.
I'm already pale enough, and in my undead state, I'm even paler. But at the sight of that snow coming, I'm really pale, and I'm running away from it.
I start sprinting immediately, but bump into Tana. Go! I say and push as I'm trying not to step on the fires.
I'm going!
I will stay behind her, but I'm going to be pushing her as fast as I can.
Sorry, I gotta do math. This was the worst mistake of my life.
Are we all dead?
No. I have to keep track of all 5 of you in the avalanche. So just...
That was the worst mistake of your life?
Yeah.
He's lived a
very
sheltered life.
life.
Penis?
You guys are making this really difficult. Just simple subtraction is becoming impossible.
Just mute us.
I would also like to point out, Joey, my move speed is 40.
Oh.
Because I'm a monk.
What's your
And
move
I'm riding
speed?
on top of him, so...
Oh, mine's 32.
I have no strength to do that, my
So we're
friend.
both shoving each
Go to
other.
the gym.
It's the avalanche's turn, and it is rushing towards the five of you. And as you run, this particular area of the plateau is becoming a little more slick. Less snow, more ice. I need each of you to make a DC 12 athletics or acrobatics check. If you fail, you fall prone.
Pass.
Woohoo!
What was the DC on that?
12.
Good thing I can use that athletics.
I'm proficient in athletics, and that did not help.
Though I have long pants, you can see my calves just bulging underneath from pure strength.
Is the avalanche moving in a, like, if I went perpendicular
Yeah.
to the slope the avalanche is falling, what would I run into? Are we like in a canyon?
You're on, so
yeah.
the mountain path led to a plateau. So you're on
Right.
this like large plateau in all directions. So you could run away. I assume most of you are running away from the avalanche. You could run parallel to it coming down.
I hate
or
to interrupt,
perpendicular to
but
it coming down.
I saw Prometheus, and you're actually supposed to run directly away from it. It's more
Right.
cinematic.
Oh, right,
So-
right. Actually, in this case, it does make sense. It's the one case
Well
where
said, Mo.
where that makes sense. Mo, go ahead.
Well, I definitely fell prone. It makes sense without shoes. I don't think I can run that well on ice. So I will use my half of my movement to stand, and with one of my remaining key points, I'm going to use Step of the Wind, which lets me dash as a bonus action. So I'm going to be moving.
How far are you moving?
Well, you see, now you're going to make me do math, and I'm not so good at that.
Yeah, I'm not the only one.
So
who
it
has
takes
to.
what? It takes half your movement to stand up.
Right.
So that puts me at 20. Mm-hmm. So I'll move 20 feet, and then my bonus action will move me an additional 40.
So, you
I'll move
a
60
total of
feet.
60
Yep.
feet.
So I rolled a 24, so I'm still going.
Yeah, yeah. The ice does not slow you.
Yeah, I think I like slip, but do like a push up, back up.
Great.
I rolled a 17, so I'm running as fast as I can.
Yeah, you're
As-
melting the ice
I'm
under your
melting the
feet.
ice beneath my feet, running 30 feet, and I think I can just go ahead and use another action and run 30 feet more.
Yes, that's right.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
That makes sense to me.
I rolled a 14, and I'm going to run perpendicular to the slide. So I'm out of its path.
Sure, sure. It is fairly wide, but that is an interesting...
I'm going to do my best.
We wish you well, Finian.
You're not going to do Mo's best?
Mo's best.
Oh, wait, in this case, that's really relevant.
Yeah.
My movement speed is 35. How far can I run using all of my available?
So you can move 35 feet, and then as your action, you can move again, called a dash. So you can move a total of 70 feet.
So I roll a 6.
Oh,
and
no.
apparently I gave Tana too big of a push, and I slip on the ice muck slush that's now left below my feet and fall face first into the snow. I'll pick myself up, and at least I'm just grateful everyone actually started running now. So I will, I'll stand up and I'll run as well. I'll dash as well, sorry, and that's 45 feet.
I shout an apology over my shoulder for all the slush I left behind. Sorry.
I can't hear you over the roar of the avalanche that's about to eat me alive.
It's the thought that counts.
So, just to paint this picture of where everyone is relative to the avalanche, Mo is the furthest away, about 105 feet. The avalanche is picking up pace, but not faster than a monk can run. JR,
monks.
you're in second, 85 feet away from this.
Track was never my strong suit.
Tana, you're around 65 feet away. Heen, you're 50 feet away. And Finian, you're 40 feet away and not running away from it, but trying to circumnavigate it entirely.
Oh, no.
Correct.
So we'll see if it catches up to you or not. For everyone but Finian, who's running away from it, the plateau drops a little bit into very thick, dense snow. So I need everyone to make a DC 10 athletics check to prevent your movement from being prohibited in the snow. If you fail, your movement is halved while you trudge through the knee-deep snow. Except for you, Finian, because you're not where they are.
Well, apparently I wasn't paying much attention. with my nat 1, I directly fall into the snow. So good news for you guys. Yeah, you should know that's there.
I don't think this is outrun the bear type of scenario. I think you need to run too.
Mo does vanish for a moment before he pokes his head back up out of the snow.
Hey guys, you should be pretty careful over here. I'm pretty sure this is deeper snow. I think I'm cold. I'm going to use half my movement again to stand up, and I'll move. I want to keep that last key point. No, I don't. There's an avalanche coming. I'll move 60 more feet.
Yeah, so I failed my roll too, so I'm struggling. Is there still a shadow above us?
Assume the dragon is somewhere above you, but between the snowstorm and all the snow that's been thrown into the air by the avalanche, you can't see it.
So I will, in a language probably none of you know, yell up to the dragon in Draconic.
Yeah, what do you yell?
Blizzard of the dead! I am friend of the storm, Dragonkin. I require aid.
Make a performance check to yell this over the sound of the avalanche.
17.
Not bad. All right, so that was your action, and then I assume you moved 30 feet.
Yeah, half because of the difficult.
Okay, the avalanche is just behind you. It is closing in.
Ooh.
Tana.
I have failed my DC 10 with an 8.
Oof.
And I am struggling against the snow, yelling out curses at the sky, at the people.
At the DM.
Snow seems to be
DM.
anathema to a fire being.
I was looking at JR from a distance, hoping that I could just like leapfrog over his shoulders, but he managed to run ahead. So I'm just yelling at the world, using my action to get as far away as I can. Plus my dash, 60 feet.
The avalanche is just behind you as well.
I'm going to wild shape into an Arctic fox.
Yeah.
Damn.
You turn into an Arctic fox. When you shapeshift, does your animal still have the wood antlers coming out of its head?
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'm going to keep those
Yeah,
with
great.
the mushrooms.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And can I also use my halo of spores at the same time in the same turn, or is that too much?
I think they both require an action.
An action, yeah.
Right.
All right, then just the Arctic fox and
Great.
then move.
Arctic fox moves 40 feet, and you are unaffected by the snow.
Brilliant.
I move 40 feet, perpendicular to the fall line of the avalanche.
Oh, you're right, because you use your action to shapeshift, right? So you move 40 feet, so it does collide with you. However, your form will give you some benefits against this. So I need you to make, as this just impenetrable wall of snow collapses on you, I need you to make a DC 15 strength save. Though do so with advantage because of your form.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Nice.
It's so good. I was going to just have you take half damage, but turning into a fox and rolling a nat 20 is pretty cool. So you're fine. The avalanche just cascades over you, and Arctic foxes apparently deal with this all the time.
He settles into his burrow.
Yeah.
You just do that thing
Curls
that the
up and
snow
takes a
foxes
nap.
do where you just jump high up in the air and then just dive right back in the
I'm actually
snow.
just kind of foot padding along the top of the snow. Just kind of riding it like a surfer.
That's adorable.
That's adorable.
Do I get the impression the avalanche is about to overtake the group?
Yes.
All right, I will.
Except for Mo, who's like 100 feet away.
we don't talk about Mo.
We don't talk about Mo.
He left us for dead. That's fine. You know,
We don't talk
I
about
get it.
Mo.
The avalanche is 5 feet behind Tana. Tana, you feel it nipping at your ankles.
I'm holding my tail above my shoulder, just not wanting it anywhere on my body.
Given I was the last in the group, and so I'm probably ankle deep, if not almost shin deep in that snow, but I've seen them all fall off the little ledge into the deeper snow. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to be moving my fingers again, drawing a small wedge shape between them before I cast it out behind me, trying to divert some of the avalanche away from the group. We're going down.
It is the avalanche's turn. But before the avalanche moves, a dense beam of ice pours in from the storm above, forming a wall in its wake. the dragon must be either trying to imprison you in the avalanche or save you from it using this sub-zero projectile vomit.
We can only hope JR actually knows Draconic and said something nice and didn't insult his mother.
This wall, this 20-foot tall wall of ice is between you and the avalanche slams into it, and cracks form along this wall, and only a little bit of the avalanche pours over from the top of it and is parted by Heen's little wedge, and miraculously, the 5 of you are saved by it. Unfortunately, the storm is still raging and you can't see the dragon above you, and you suspect it can't see you either, but maybe it heard you. Or maybe that was an accident. You're not really sure. Good news is the wraith, the lone wraith who is next to Mo, is nowhere to be found.
No, my buddy!
He was gonna be our son.
Oh.
I would collapse in relief, but there's more snow down there, so I'm just kind of standing like stock still
Just still
with my
holding your
tail like wrapped around my legs.
That was not me.
There's this almost profound moment of silence as the avalanche is now quiet. The battle's over, and you're all just in snow, only listening to the wind.
From a distance, you'd hear, "Hey guys, are you guys dead?
Well, yes, we are.
I think I should go then."
I mean, you're dead too.
Oh yeah, and then I'll walk back over.
Face palm.
Anyone frostbitten?
Yes.
Being cold is not the same as frostbitten.
I know.
Hey, I think we're missing someone.
Where's Finian?
Yeah, is he in the snow?
You see slightly off in the distance a little movement. It looks like something sort of bounding in the snow, a little tail wagging. But that's all you can see.
The orc is back.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a cat. Is it a cat?
Why did he not accompany us? If he was going to follow us anyhow, we could use his assistance.
I know. Quite rude.
I'm moving closer to the group now. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh, also, by the way, guys, this ice is new. Did one of you guys do that? Because I mean, like, it's kind of cool, but also if that's magic, like that's like super illegal. I'm pretty sure, but
It definitely was not me.
oh, really? I kind of thought that was like your whole thing. Aren't you like an ice user? Or
No.
oh, well.
Yes,
JR,
tieflings are notorious for ice.
See, that's what I thought.
I can't tell by your tone if you're being sarcastic or not, so I just sort of glare at you.
So I get closer to you, and you can see me, and now I look like kind of like a cat. I'm white, like just shock white. It looks like the snow. You probably just see 2 little reddish eyes poking out, and what looks like antlers coming out of the top of the head.
The feline consumed the elf.
So I'm not familiar with the wildlife here, but maybe that is normal.
The shape of the tail is long and bushy. It doesn't look like a cat. It looks like something else to you. But maybe you've never seen this kind of creature before, so you might just think it's a cat with a really funky tail.
I mean, the orc said we don't need nourishment, so we don't have to eat this thing.
But we could. We could
I mean, it
barbecue
could
it.
taste delicious.
Something looks
Yes,
familiar
quite.
about those antlers. It looks like there's something growing out of them.
I think everything on this side just has antlers. I think it's okay.
I agree.
I know exactly what it is, but I'm just playing along. I could make a bonfire right here, and we could roast it over a spit.
I'm very dexterous. I seem to be walking right over the top of the snow without much difficulty.
It seems kind of spry. We'll have to surround it to capture it.
I run up to the tiefling who looks cold, and I start licking her toes.
Get off of me, Finian! Get off! Get off!
Maybe
it's
it
Finian.
wants to eat us.
I kind of nudge it away with my toe.
Oh, you named it after the elf. Smart.
It is the elf, you idiot.
Oh.
I make a series of little squeaky, grunty sounds.
You
And
can't
stay in this form. I kind of like it.
You can't tell by the swirling cloud of mushrooms that's like surrounding it and smells like rotten wood.
I've
assume-
never been to the land of the dead. It's quite strange here.
I assumed it was some form of disease he had contracted and passed on to this cat.
I don't look like a cat. I look like a very skinny dog with a long, bushy tail.
Maybe to
It's just
a
a tiny
gift.
snout.
Maybe to a gift you look like a cat.
Yes, cats here are quite strange.
Okay, I'm trudging around now looking for where the river might have gone.
And,
But everything is just covered in
I
snow
will
and
look
debris.
up, knowing that there's probably something there.
Make a perception check.
Let's see. So how does a 7 look?
A 7 looks at the storm and you see snow. Your eyes fill with snow as it falls into your upward gaze.
Guys, it's really bright out. It's like really bright out. I think we should keep going. I mean, like,
Bright out?
I think we really lucked out. Oh,
It's night.
Oh yeah, it's just snow. Right. Well, anyway, I really think we should just keep going towards the river. Like that was awful, and I'm kind of hurt. Like I'm feeling pretty dead again. I don't know. Like,
Where is the river? I've been looking for it. I have no idea where it is.
I'm going to make a perception check to see if I can find. Sure. I'm going to run off towards where this wall
Yeah,
is
yeah.
and see if I can figure out where anything is at this point.
Great, great.
Goodbye, cat.
18.
Yeah, you find the river about 50 feet away, still frozen, still leading west.
I turn around, I look at the four of you, and I wag my tail.
I,
okay, I don't know
squeaky,
about you
grunty
guys, but I'm
sounds.
going to follow that guy. He's pleasant. That's a really cool little dog.
He is adorable.
I agree.
If nothing else, this ice will not hold forever. We should go.
My little paw lifts up
Now.
and I go like this.
Like what? Our listeners can't see.
I'm gesturing in the direction of the river.
After that, you continue your trek west until you're. After that, you continue your trek west until you feel tired. It's a different kind of tired than what you're used to. You don't have bodies, you don't need sleep, but your soul feels weary. Like you do need to stop and rest and just relax for 8 or so hours, which I assume you all do.
Guys, I don't know about you, but like I feel like I just gotta sit down for a short minute, like a short rest. I'm not doing too good, and then I just plop down in the snow.
Is there anything around here that we can use for wood or dry anything at all that's not saturated in
It's
water?
so barren. There's no grass, there are no trees. This place has never seen light.
Is it like a tundra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, you're in the mountains, but it's tundra.
Now listen, guys. What we could do is we could try and have negotiations with the fox because he has those like wood things on his head, and I think we can cut those off.
Alternatively,
The fox wanders off and goes and nestles down in some snow and curls up to take a little nap.
I follow
Okay,
not
perfect.
too far behind, lighting a bonfire under my feet, which frankly does pretty much nothing at all. But again, emotional.
I
Yeah.
begin my meditation.
I'll shrug and I'll just look at JR and Mo. We could simply dig into the permafrost. It would not be wet. It will be frozen.
I'm
Yes.
tired though. I really don't want to dig. Can you like dig? I'll watch. There's those ghost things. I'll look for the ghost things. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Yes. I'll supervise.
I do need supervision. That is true. Sensei always told me that I should not be alone. with
There's
my
no
thoughts.
job is complete without supervision.
The laziness of humans was not exaggerated. All right, I shall do it.
Hey, we call it reflection. Reflection.
We call it management.
I bring my cloak over my ears and press it against it to try and block out the noise.
I'll make a small, or actually, I'll just make a large shovel. So I'll move my fingers again and cast an abnormally large shovel. It looks comical, almost like a giant would be wielding this thing. And I'll simply stand there, moving my hand back and forth, lifting dirt out of a hole until there's a hole about 3 or 4 feet deep.
Dirt or snow?
Snow, and there's going to be dirt under the snow, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we dig deeper into it, it's now, the ground is permanently frozen, so at the very least it won't be wet.
About an hour into my meditation, I revert into my elven form, and at that point I get up and I go find the others.
Yeah, you get
It was
cozy in
comfortable
their
as
little
a
hole.
it was comfortable as a fox,
Not as
not
a
like
dude.
this.
Yeah.
I'll nudge Mo. I knew he was the fox the whole time.
That guy was the fox.
Hello, y'all. Hi, how's everybody doing?
After the 8 hours are up, you continue following the frozen river west. Mostly silence amongst yourselves and some conversations.
Being from this area, I assume I can kind of tell, like, it's star rise, so it's the equivalent of day, or whatever that would be.
Right. So you see the moon, of course, when
Moonrise.
when the moon is up ahead, that's day, I say in quotes here. because there is light coming from the moon that kind of illuminates Noctara. Along the way, as you go, you encounter a few more roaming groups of wraiths, but either avoid them entirely or manage to fight them off and regain your stamina with rest over these next few days of travel. You also find about a dozen lone wraiths, but they tend to avoid you. Strangely, you haven't seen any other normal souls like the 5 of you are. Everything is very long gone.
You're using normal very loosely, but continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On the third day, the frozen river forks, or perhaps 2 rivers join here. Either way, in order to continue following this river west, you'll need to cross this other river that forks off from it and runs north. The river's about 40 feet across. It's frozen, but you don't know how thick this is.
I'm going to wild shape into a small creature, maybe the size of a rat,
Sure.
something of low mass.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work my way out on the ice, and I'm going to do some perception checks to see if I can find a place where the ice is thicker.
I'm imagining a
Across.
rat with antlers, and it's super cute.
I have little antlers
Super
and little
cute.
mushrooms growing out of the antlers.
Now you just need a little Santa hat.
And
Oh
I'm
my
white.
God. Oh my gosh.
Little albino rat.
Little albino rat.
Great.
with
Make
little
a
red eyes.
Make a survival check for me.
13.
This little rat is jumping on the river ice, trying to find the places that are thickest. And you think you have a fairly good idea of where those places is. Of course, the river doesn't even react to your existence.
I'm going to do an investigation check to find where the river, when it did flow, if it ever really did flow, had the lowest flow rate. Given that I have a history with bridges, I would understand flow rates a little bit. I don't understand how ice flows. It's magic, frankly.
Yeah, makes sense.
With a 6, yeah, there's just no chance.
You guys do see the rat beckoning, I guess? Are you beckoning them to follow you?
Can you see something as small as a rat, 20 feet, 25
I can.
feet away,
I can.
waving at you, like this way?
White and in the
I walk back
snowstorm?
I scurry back toward the group, and
A
I'm
lot
going
of
to
the snowstorm has subsided. It's still freezing, but it isn't torrentially snowing.
As
I'm squeaking at you and sort of gesturing with my little paw at you, like, this way. But you can't hear that because you can't understand me. I'm speaking rat.
I'm standing at the edge, and I've seen where this rat has gone, and more or less deciphered where the thick parts are. And I just want to get out of here and across the way as fast as possible. And I'd like to make a survival check.
Sure.
I'm the inverse Pied Piper.
Unfortunately, I don't know. I only got a 13 on there, so the ice is kind of creaking a little.
It's creaking, but that's enough. You're slowly making your way across and following the rat.
And I make little turns here and there, like where I recall the ice being thicker, and I'm trying to lead you all across. Hopefully you're smart enough not to all stand in one place at the same time.
I'm skittering behind you as close as I can, but trying not to step on your tail.
I'll see Mo step up behind JR.
Oh, I haven't stepped on the river yet. You just see me. I'm looking back and forth at the river, contemplating. Okay. So, listen, guys, listen. I understand that the rat has found a safe way. I think that's a safe way, but I don't know. Sensei always says lead with your head, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna back up, and I'm gonna run full speed, and then drop onto my belly and try and slide across the river.
Make an acrobatics check.
Finian is over here
Ooh, a
face palming.
16.
As you slide by the rat, you see it face palm, but somehow you manage to penguin slide your way across the entire 40-foot width of this river and end up on the other side before anyone else gets there. Which leaves JR and Heen on this side.
That was pretty impressive. I'll run back to the same.
Acrobatics.
A 20.
So you analyzed every move of what Modus just did, and you do it with beautiful finesse. And you arrive on the other side unscathed.
Have you been to the monastery? That was incredible. I've never seen a move so graceful. I mean, you've had to have studied in the arts.
I'll blush.
I have now jumped out of the way twice as these two lunatics have penguin barreled right past past me.
Heen is still on the other side of the ice.
He is.
Heen.
And you've watched. Apparently, it's a lot thicker than you thought because they were fine.
I'll look at the rat.
I can go back across the river and lead you across.
And I'll
That's what I'm
shrug
walking across.
shrug to him as you approach, and I'll say, "Age has not been kind enough for me."
Oh.
And I'll follow behind you.
I squeak in acknowledgement.
Make a survival check for me. With advantage because of Finny.
First roll is a 9. Second roll is a 13.
That's good enough, and you all make it across the river without even cracking it.
When you guys
Yeah,
approach,
go us.
when you guys approach, you'll see Mo and JR get really stiff with their hands behind their backs.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys made it.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
swift.
And then you see a handful of snow drop from behind my back. We were having a snowball fight.
No.
And I'm just crouching 15 feet away with my head between my knees.
I squeak in scorn, and then I revert back into my normal shape.
And you guys continue following this frozen river. And again, a few more days pass. We're approaching a week now of traveling through this tundra. You're now out of the mountains, just sort of walking across this desolate, snowy wasteland. It's a lot bigger than you thought it was.
You know, one thing I gotta say, this is actually pretty cool going this long without food, without starving. You know, normally when I do this, it's awful, it's terrible, but this is actually kind of fun. This is kind of a neat little group we got. I think we should probably just stick around doing this stuff. This is pretty fun.
I concur.
I sigh, but I don't disagree.
It's not like you have anywhere better to go.
I'm not gonna go.
Yep, I'm just going to go that way. I'm just going to walk off into the...
As you draw nearer to the shore, 7th or 8th day into travel, it's hard to gauge time because there's no sun, no stars. It's just clouds. But the frozen river becomes less and less frozen until the point where even in the darkness of Noctara, you can kind of see the surface of it. And strangely, it's not flowing towards the ocean like you assumed. It's flowing back towards the mountain range. But eventually, the snowy wasteland gives way to an ocean dotted with drifting glaciers.
I noticed that none of us have checked for this dragon lately. We're all just like having snowball fights and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, it hasn't
Allegedly,
been an
nobody
issue
saw.
there.
Nobody saw.
I thought maybe you two were doing something untoward.
Oh.
Ooh.
Who are we joking? As soon as they're not looking, we're pelting them in the back of the head. Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It was a wraith on the ridge.
They're learning.
As you approach the frozen beach, you can make out a large, dark shape offshore. Hopefully the boat that you're looking for. But it is not. It's not on the beach. It's like 100, 150 feet off of the shore, just kind of amidst the floating glaciers. Finian, as you're getting closer and closer, you feel something sharp poke in between your shoulder blades, as if someone is holding a dagger to your back. And you feel someone standing behind you. It seems like you've picked up a 6th party member along the way.
I turn slowly, very slowly.
As you turn, a female voice urges you to stop.
I stop turning slowly.
Is that a boat out there?
I don't know.
I've been watching for some time, and the 5 of you are going straight for it. You must know what it is.
We don't know what it is. We just got here.
Finian, who are you talking? What?
You turn
Yeah.
to find a human woman with very short black hair and a very scarred face. She wears simple, almost nondescript garb that look pretty easy to move in. And her eyes are darting between all of you.
I'm immediately distrustful, so I conjure a ball of fire to get a closer look at her face.
You, Finian, can feel the dagger point a bit
Please
deeper.
Don't. She's got a knife to my back.
And what plan do you possess, woman? You simply are going to murder one of our associates, and we're going to let you on this boat alive? Alive. Dead alive.
We know what you mean.
We need terminology.
She almost chuckles at that. You're new here, then.
Yes, of course. You obviously are as well. You're not a bygone wraith.
I've been here for a bit longer than you, I suspect. Just, is that a boat or not?
Well, lucky for you, you just met the good noodles. Okay, that's what we like to call ourselves, because we were good and we don't know why we're here. But listen, it's a boat. There's a lot of room. We don't have to get all like violent on each other, right? Do we? We don't have to fight. I mean, we could fight, but I don't want to.
The second I remove this dagger from threatening range, the 5 of you will kill me.
Didn't you hear the name of our group? We're the good noodles. We don't do that stuff.
Yes, what kind of noodle are you? Are you a good noodle or a bad noodle?
What is this noodle you two keep speaking of?
The two of you need to stop talking. I've got a knife to my back. Listen. You could have just said hello. We don't mean any harm to you.
How far is this dark black spot?
Like 150 feet offshore.
Is that within range for me to send my ball of fire out there to illuminate it and see what it might be?
I believe you have the range of 120 feet, so
think I do.
probably. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Goodbye,
going
boat.
to...
Nice knowing you for all of the 30 seconds we knew you.
I cast the gif scowl and inch away from...
Scow?
A scowl.
A scow is a kind of boat. Casting a scow.
You know, for somebody who's got a knife literally digging into his back, maybe you should be a little less pedantic. All right, I thrust out my hand, and the ball grows only slightly. I will not burn this thing down, illuminating the dark edges of whatever this may be.
Yeah, you send out basically a flare into the darkness.
I didn't phrase it that way.
Works for me.
Oops.
And as it falls just short of the boat, not burning it, no explosions, you can see it is in fact a boat. And you can see there's writing on the side, though it's a little too far away to read what it says.
God, I feel like we just pulled a Mulan and now all of China knows we're here.
Fuck.
The woman does react with some caution to this, like she's a little more anxious now.
Who did you think we were?
I'm not really sure, but you just woke up here and you have a boat chartered. How is that possible?
Friends in high places.
I wouldn't call them friends.
We'll call them whatever we want.
Master, perhaps, in this circumstance.
So you're saying that I'm supposed to believe that you're good noodles? That if I remove this dagger, you're not going to kill me where I stand?
How do we know you're a good noodle?
I'm not. I
You're
have a
sticking
dagger
a knife
in your
in
back.
my back.
I'm not the one lying about my allegiances.
Belief
Who
is
said we're lying?
irrelevant here.
Nobody lied about anything.
I step up to this lady, and I pitch my voice low. Listen, lady, we don't know who you are. We don't care. You're not our friend. We're going to get on that boat, and in case you haven't noticed, I can shoot fire from my hands. So if you'll kindly withdraw the dagger from my friend's back and step aside.
She almost seems comforted when you talk. Like, the way you're talking makes sense to her. What they're saying doesn't make sense, but this she understands.
My eyebrow raises because that's not normally how people respond to me.
So clearly you're the leader of this group.
Yeah, sure. For all intents and purposes in this exact moment.
I mean, I thought we were kind of a democracy.
I flick my
pretense
tail
and
at him, hit him in the shin.
I'm impressed, frankly. I have seen a lot of souls here be killed by those wraiths, and by the other actual souls who are around here, but no one wants to mess with a group of 5. How did you convince 4 others to follow you?
How did you know we confronted wraiths?
I've been watching for a while. It's
And
not...
potentially caused the avalanche that nearly doomed us?
No, I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't there for that.
And we are supposed to believe you.
You don't have to, but does it matter?
I'm getting like prickles down my spine, like we probably shouldn't be telling this person the truth. So I feed her some tale about how I just had a piece of gold that I happened to give each of you guys to hang out with me and keep me safe as my bodyguards.
Make a deception check.
Oh, I just rolled a nat 20, bitches.
Wow, she rolled a 19. So the nat 20 just beats that out, and she furrows her brow a little, like, you have gold here? That's so strange. But she believes you.
I didn't say it was a good lie.
It was good enough, apparently.
She's obviously psychotic, so you got this.
And my kind of people, right?
That roll was so good. You have gold?
Cast him a glare. We'll talk about this later.
More gold.
Noodle brain.
Good noodle brain.
How long have you been here?
Just about a week.
I really am impressed. And you've managed to avoid the demon who, he's kind of the kingpin around here. But you would be interested to hear that there's a group of 5 traveling on a boat offshore.
I exchange glances with the other
Oh,
folk.
yeah, the demon. Yeah, we know about the demon. Can you remind me?
His name,
And what he looks like and his, temperament,
occupation,
age?
sex, location.
Bank pen.
Social security number.
Favorite food?
Souls.
Right, you're new here. Do you know what a demon even is?
I do.
Nope.
The soul eaters.
I mean, I take offense to that, but sure, yes. I thought we were friends, but I mean, if you're going to go around throwing, racial epithets,
Not
then...
you. The real demon.
Oh,
You can't say real demon.
I'm sorry.
That's offensive.
Are you calling me a demon? Because
No.
Oh, never mind.
A demon, a soul who eats other souls.
Oh, I'm
A soul eater.
I thought I get called demon a lot. I just assumed.
That's unfortunate.
I
You're
know.
nothing like a real demon.
I give him a sideways glance, that was nice, and I'm not really sure what to do with that compliment, so I just clamp my mouth shut.
Still holding the dagger to Finian's back, she just kind of stares at you guys, really not sure what to make of this group.
I'm going to give Tana a look and a nod. And in that moment, I'm going to produce a dagger as well. And I'm going to elongate into a sword before her eyes. And I'm just going to point it at her.
This is more what I was expecting. Good noodles, my ass.
What exactly are you hoping to accomplish with these bad noodles? By the way, you really need to tell me what a noodle is later. I cast them aside to JR because I still don't know what a noodle is.
I'm assuming they're small worms that crawl on the ground.
Oh, well, that would make a lot of sense.
I thought noodles were food.
Well, again, noodle... Exactly. Worms that crawl on the ground would be... Anyway.
Delectable depending upon the type of dirt.
I want out. I don't want to be in this place.
So you want to go on the boat too?
Yes.
We'd like to go on the boat. This is a very cold, desolate place.
I nudge him. And
Not a good place for good noodles.
And remind him that the orc only guaranteed us 5 slots.
You said that out loud.
Quietly to you.
While she's standing right behind me with a knife in my back.
She's taken
Logistics.
a few steps back
No,
because
she
the
hasn't.
Gith has withdrawn his own dagger.
Fine.
She still has the dagger in his back.
Admitted all of it.
I drop it and the sword just dissolves. You could tell just watching it. I don't know what a sword actually looks like. It was a little bit lopsided on one side, frankly.
Believe it or not, I don't want to hurt you. I just want to leave.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we can work something out, but I do have to ask you, do you remember why you're here? I mean, because we all know why we're here, I think. I think we all know, but I'm not actually sure.
I actually have no clue why I'm here. I don't even remember dying.
I'm
I'm too young, did I?
That is somewhat common among a lot of the souls here, and I assume souls other places memory loss, but yes, I know why I'm here.
Do you know how to get to the boat across the way?
I suppose we could swim. Do you have a better plan? I assume it's your boat.
Literally anything except swimming. Literally anything. I will
Yes.
stab one of these guys in the neck.
Why don't we look to see if there's a launch along the shore? A small boat to go out to the big boat? Just a thought.
Well,
Makes
actually,
sense
listen,
to me.
we have a plan. We know how we're going to get to the boat, but we want to know why were you in the Path of Malice? Because, if it's cool or if it's spooky we need to know before we decide.
You are surprisingly reasonable people. Even as crazy as you are, you're not the kind I've ran into here.
Yeah,
You seem to be the kind that
we.
we've run into here. You've got a knife in my back, and you don't seem to be taking our gestures of friendship at face value.
She'll remove the dagger from your back.
Thank you.
And take a few steps away from you and from the rest of the group. She's still holding the dagger, but she's just very confused by this whole encounter.
Aren't we all?
How are you here? And why are you in this form and not a wraith like the others we've seen? You've also been freed from your death hold.
I work for the demon. He keeps me and many other souls here safe as you could be, or safe is the wrong word, intact. He keeps us intact.
Then why are you trying to escape?
I'd rather not work for him anymore. I'd rather not work for anyone. And trust me, I've killed many of my employers before, but this one is more difficult than others. And the longer I stay here, the more I lose. I don't want to become a wraith like the rest of them.
You've been here a long time.
A few months. Long enough.
Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I completely trust her. She's probably good to come with us, right? That was good. That was good, right? I think we're okay.
Yeah, she seems like a fine lady.
I don't care what we do, as long as she goes in front and we make our way to the boat.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter who comes with or who doesn't. If we have no way to get out to that boat other than swimming through that cold water, I don't think anybody's getting on the boat.
Could you not shift into a porpoise and
No.
talk to that? No?
I don't have that ability.
Well, I figured we
powers
could
are
just
not that deep.
swim out there. I mean, it's not too far, right?
As some of you make glances towards the boat, it does seem like they've reacted to the flare, and the boat has turned and is coming closer. It's navigating through the glaciers.
Oh, nice.
That'll solve that problem.
Yes, quite.
Okay, well, maybe that wasn't so bad, right? I mean, nothing bad could happen now.
So
Yes, everything will work out perfectly.
I can leave with you. That's it.
I mean, we do have one thing that's kind of a requirement. We need to know your name, otherwise this is gonna be really awkward.
She nods slowly. I'm Zai.
Zai, pleasure to meet you.
And
Have you considered learning the martial arts?
What?
You know, like, hi-ya! And then it's a really sloppy karate kick.
Impressive.
What did you do to deserve being here?
I think I cracked my back too hard.
You were stabbed in the back.
No, there's no way. Sensei would never allow weapons on the monastery.
Right, and Finian is a cat. And we're all noodles.
Fox,
and
please. Fox. Not a cat. Arctic fox.
5 of you are really lucky that you haven't run into Karzar, the demon. He would eat. She
And
looks
I-
particularly to Modus. He would eat you alive.
I stiffen and go straight as a board. What did you say that name was?
Karzar.
What? And I hiss and fall down a crouch.
Oh,
We need to get out of here.
Are you trying to be the cat?
I think so.
We need to get out of here right now. I don't care if we... In fact, you know what? I will dive in there right now. Let's go.
You
Whoa,
do
whoa.
know him.
Get away from me. Guys, let's go.
Now, we don't have to be too rash. What?
I'll follow you
What
as
does
you
it
walk
have
to
to-
the beach.
You don't know. This demon could be a nice fellow, just like that dragon. He wasn't so bad.
I know this demon, and I would take that dragon over this demon any day. In the water with you penguins. We need to go now. You, I look straight at this woman, get the hell away from me.
Did you
Before
just
I
call me a
make you.
penguin?
I'm gonna look at my fancy clothes and you're like, I do kind of look like a penguin.
And I'm ignoring these guys, and I conjure a ball of fire, and I'm in like my threatening fight stance now.
Make an intimidation check.
And apparently it wasn't that intimidating because we're at a 2.
She seems more curious than threatened. You know Karzar, but you've only been here a week.
I know Karzar from back when he was alive.
She shudders. From before he was a demon.
Yeah, he was still a demon, trust me.
So you know that we need to leave now.
You're not going with us. Under any circumstance. And if you try, I will kill you.
Well, hold on there. She hasn't threatened
It
us
doesn't
or
matter what
anything.
she's doing. It matters who she's working for.
She didn't threaten you
Yes, us.
directly.
Is that like the royal us?
Yes.
I feel like my predicament was overlooked by all of you.
You're not listening to me.
I'm listening
It
to
doesn't
you.
matter what she has done or not done. We need to go now. And I cannot stress that enough.
You do see there is crew milling about on top of the boat. One in particular looks like an Aarakocra, perhaps, is particularly looking at the five of you. Not threateningly, just like gauging if you're the right group that he's supposed to pick up.
I shove past this chick roughly and throw another flare up in the air, like waving my hands wildly for them to come get us.
The Aarakocra nods and calls something back to the rest of his crew, and they are now just 10 feet, 5 feet from the shore.
I'll look at Mo. Maybe she is threatened by the other girl being in our group.
I shove you so hard you stumble backwards as I make my way for this boat.
Sensei did tell us that we can't keep too many hens in one hen house.
Your sensei is sounding like a clever man.
They drop the gangplank to give you access to the boat. Just basically a wooden ramp up onto the deck.
I actually step aside and let the boys go.
I would like to point out one thing, just being kind of like the middleman in the whole situation. If we leave without bringing her, she'll probably have no choice but to tell the demon that she saw you, and therefore the demon will be following us. So maybe it's not a bad plan if, like, she comes with us. Because then you can keep an eye on her, right? Because that's what you want to do, right?
She nods.
Wise words.
I'm already in the Path of Malice because I wasn't a good person when I was alive, okay? All of you say that you're not meant to be here. Well, I am, okay? And I have no problem burning this hen to the ground and making her into a barbecue
I
hen.
have a suggestion. Zai here, if she goes on this boat, we're in the care of the crew and the captain of this ship. If she so much as lifts a finger the wrong way, she's going overboard. I'm sure she can't swim through an ocean like this.
I will be the image of polite if you let me join you.
I thought that was JR's whole shtick.
I'm
Yes,
rubbing.
Now I'm debating whether I want you on.
I'm rubbing my
Stay in
temples
your
in
own lane.
frustration because I can't stand it when the elf makes sense. And I don't even respond. I just turn around, cloak swirling, tail twitching, and get on the boat.
I'll lean into Zai. Could you do me a favor? When we get back to the land of the living, could you tell my sensei that my sales pitch worked?
The land of the living. That's where you're going?
I need to get on the boat now. I'll just turn and walk onto the boat.
She's very close behind you, walking up the gangplank.
I yell up to the crew on the ship. Hi there. Thank you for picking us up.
I believe it is howdy.
Howdy!
This is ships, not horses.
Welcome aboard, he says, waving you up the gangplank.
It's been a long journey in the snow and cold.
I'm sure it has. Just come on quickly. I don't want to stay here for very long.
Oh, this Aarakocra is from Louisiana.
All right.
And once, I assume all five of you
Oh, yeah.
go up onto the deck, and his crew lifts the gangplank back up and pushes off shore and out into the ocean, and that is where we'll pick up next week.
Ooh, okay. That was an interesting little episode there.
I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it. Hopefully our listeners liked it. If you did, if you had fun, come roll with us on Facebook, Patreon, and Discord, where you can affect everything from the story to the dice. Just Google of Dice and Friends and you'll find us.
Now come on back, you hear?
For some barbecue chicken.
I believe
Yeehaw.
that's all I have for today. So
Nice.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
I thought you were saying that to us.
No. Well, thanks for playing for you guys.
Bye, everybody.
See you. Goodbye.
Till next time.
Bye, everybody.